The Quieter Hour of Chicago PD Season 13 Episode 12 was primarily a character study for the newest member of Intelligence's cast. And at last, we have additional information on Imani and her sister. It represents what may be the fourth episode of PD's much-discussed and frequently divisive character-centric cycle that focuses on or prominently involves Imani. We asked Imani to start the hour by wanting to settle in and renting a lovely property with a fantastic view. And this alone was illuminating. However, the fact that she actually made the down payment on an apartment speaks volumes. It suggests that she is relocating to Chicago, at least temporarily, or that she can at least imagine remaining there for a longer period of time than she typically does. It implies that she believes she has found a home in Intelligence and that perhaps this vagrant will live for a while. Her absence of tangible possessions also says a lot. She lives in a large flat with almost nothing in it. You feel sorry for someone who doesn't truly have any place to call home because she travels light. It seems that since her sister vanished, she hasn't felt like she has a home. She was therefore there when she received the call regarding a family, attempting to ease the tension that had developed because a mother who had been missing her son Ben for 20 years believed she had seen him again and was afraid that something horrible might happen if she didn't give him money or find him assistance. Naturally, events transpired about as anticipated. It wasn't Ben. Rather, it was a money-hungry imposter who used a distraught mother who was desperate to find her kid. Rather, there was something more unsettling going on. We discovered that the man posing as Ben was actually Eddie's brother, and that Eddie was the one who had abducted Ben all those years prior. And what a piece of shit he was. How do you discover that your brother is a full-fledged pedophile and then exploit that fact by pursuing one of his victims' mothers in order to obtain financial gain? What trash. It was a marvel in and of itself that Imani was unable to kick this man's ass. However, after persuading Grady, Gemma's other kid, to pose as bait for Eddie, the pedophile, Imani and the people at that station were able to at least utilize him to discover the truth about Ben's whereabouts or what happened to him. Grady was my issue and the most tragic aspect of the entire affair. Imani's attempt to persuade this unfortunate adolescent to risk his life for a brother he had never met was annoying. Even worse, we discovered the origins of his existence. He said to Imani that the only reason he exists at all is because his mother asked his father to have another kid because losing Ben upset her so terribly. Grady was essentially a filler or replacement child, but it didn't work either because he was clearly unable to fill the gap Ben left. In the shadow of a brother he had never met, his entire life thus felt like that of an abandoned child. Therefore, it felt like asking more of him than he should have had to give to ask him to risk his life for a chance to provide his mother with closure. Grady has given enough, hasn't he? Hasn't he endured enough suffering? What could he possibly gain now that everything had been taken from him? It was extremely annoying and misguided of Imani to try to reason with him by using her own experience with her sister. Their experiences are completely dissimilar. I could see where she was coming from, but by putting his mother's suffering ahead of his own, she was undercutting his experience and suffering, exactly what everyone else has been asking of him his entire life. And once Imani coerced him into doing it, he did it even though he didn't want to. All of this was done to provide his mother with some closure at last. Even yet, Gemma didn't believe what Imani and Voight had told her. Sadly, Imani had to kill Eddie, but they were warned about what actually happened to Ben by another child he was training. He abducted Ben without warning, accidentally injured him in the head, and Ben passed away that same day almost 2 decades ago. However, Gemma clung to denial because it gave her hope in the absence of a body. And there was no closure in the absence of acceptance. Additionally, Grady never finds the mother he deserves or serenity. In the end, his actions, didn't even matter. I felt terrible for him. I just want that child to grow up and have the life he deserves. However, because it struck too close to home, that case felt like a reality check for Imani. Her whole existence is focused on discovering her sister's whereabouts and possibly even tracking her down. She continues that mission after her parents passed away without understanding the truth. But if she doesn't like the response, will it still be sufficient for her? We've already seen how it affects her in certain situations and her unwavering commitment to protecting and assisting others, particularly the younger generation. The hour allowed us to see Imani through the veil. Voight was present as usual to take it all in. Additionally, I've been listening to one of my fave Billie Eilish songs nonstop. Go figure.